Yeah.
Welcome to the Rhinebeck Scoop. I'm your host, Jennifer C., and I'm dishing out social commentary about our beloved town. Hey guys, if you like this show, don't be shy, tell a friend, and even more important, give us a 5-star rating on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen. Today we have a very special guest. Andrew Checchia is a reporter for the Daily Catch. He graduated from UCLA, my dream college, and previously reported for LA Downtown News. He grew up in St. Louis and Houston, and now he's here in Rhinebeck. Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, so exciting. So your picture, I've only seen pictures of you. I've met you in person now. Does not match your voice.
What do you expect my voice to be?
Okay, so I was expecting you to be, because I've only heard you. Remember, we met on the phone. So I was expecting you to be, and you're tall, but like big, strapping, like huge.
You said I'm tiny and skinny.
No, you're not tiny and skinny, but you know, there's this big, strapping bear of a guy, like a beer commercial guy, and you are definitely that Gen Z. So I was not,
Yes.
was not for Matty. This has to be your favorite guest of all time.
Really? Why is that?
Because he's a Gen Z. You love Gen Z.
I do love Gen Z. You're right.
I mean, what's not to love? We're the best generation, right? The greatest generation. I heard them say that.
You're
Go
going to
ahead,
save
Matty.
the planet is what I would say.
I'm going to disagree with that, but okay. But I think you're great out of the generation.
Well,
so
thank
yeah,
She's very negative towards Gen Z, but don't listen to it.
I honestly trash Gen Z all the time. But for Andrew, I'm going to say, you know what? I like Gen Z.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're just going to lie for now.
He's going to speak for the entire generation.
I love speaking on behalf of large groups of people, so I'm happy to do that.
Convince me why Gen Z is such a great generation.
Oh, well, I mean, we're, as I'm sure you've experienced with this other show, I feel like we have a lot of responsibility and we've had access to so much knowledge for so long that we're, I guess, to accept the cynicism at first, probably way overstimulated and have way too much going on. But if you can clarify even 10, 20% of everything that we're exposed to all the time, we have unparalleled ability to actually like execute what we want to do with our lives, execute change in the world, have new ideas, synthesize new things. It's like having access to the internet and having access to social media, etc., from such a young age gives us this completely new perspective involving every perspective that's come before. So I'm very optimistic.
That's good. My husband is he's a pilot for a Gen Z person who got injured in a quote unquote softball game and couldn't go to work for a hamstring pull. So, yeah, that's about my.
Well, yes, of course.
Anything to get out of work. I've never seen anything like this. Anything to get out of work. It's actually fascinating to me. But I am going to say your generation, what I do like is that you guys really are delving into a lot of trauma issues and unearthing them. And you're saying, I do not want to be like my grandparents. No offense to grandparents, but I want to deal with a lot of these things. I want to change the planet. I want to change the environment. I want to help things. When I see a Gen Z like you who's motivated, you guys are fucking motivated.
Yeah, it's the bell curve. It's the high highs and low lows.
Yeah. And I have to say, my generation, are you also Gen X?
I'm Gen X.
Like, it was the same with us growing up. If you watched, what's that movie with Winona Ryder? Reality Bites. Have you seen Reality Bites? You've got to go home and watch it. Okay. So it's a good movie, but it's with Winona Ryder and I think Ethan Hawke. And it's all about how lazy our generation is. So I guess it's just every generation they think that about.
Every generation thinks the next generation is lazy. I could read you a quote from a 1900s newspaper, which talks about the current generation, the young generation in 1900, as being basically lazy and all they want to do is ride their bicycle. Now, you just change that for look at Instagram or any number of other words that you put in that place. It's exactly the same thing. Every generation thinks the younger generation are lazy, they're entitled. All of these things are repeated decade after decade after decade.
Absolutely.
I agree with that. So let's talk about Andrew.
Well, thank you.
How is Rhinebeck different than St. Louis and Houston? What do you like about RBK and the East Coast?
Well, it's been probably the last sort of major part of the country that I've never lived in or spent time in so I was born in Southern California, funnily enough, but I don't remember any of it. I moved around. I was like 18 months old to St. Louis and spent just shy of 10 years there before moving to Houston. So, and then I went to college in Los Angeles. So I have sort of a feeling of the Midwest and the South and the West Coast. My parents met and spent lots of time in Chicago. I have family there. My grandparents retired to Florida, so I spent some time there. And, so I got these like anchors around the country. So this was the last one I hadn't really experienced. It's a noticeably different culture, but it's weird because so far what I've gotten a sense for is that most people here, maybe outside of like Boston, where I visited for the first time recently, don't necessarily think of themselves as having like this distinct East Coast culture. Like it's sort of the thing that all the other places compare themselves to, whether consciously or not. Even the Midwest to a lesser extent, but obviously the South is the South, and it's being from Houston, Texas is like a thing. Like people are, oh, we're Texan. This is an identity. This is a feeling. Yeah. But being from New York, maybe New York City has it, but there isn't the same sort of pride of place. I think it's growing. From what I can tell, it seems like younger people might have it more. Like there's more of an awareness for it. But that's been one of the notable sort of big picture, sort of heady things that I've noticed. But I've also noticed that it's just way more beautiful than people made it out to be. Like the nature here is absolutely wonderful. California is one thing, like it's gorgeous in its own way, but this is classic. Like when I think of living in nature, living in the forest, like this is amazing. I've loved getting that side of it.
I love that. It's like a fairy tale here. I feel like it's very old world fairy tale when I drive down my road. Someone once said to me, the East Coast is charming and the West Coast is grand. And I thought that was a really good way to look at it. And I said, oh, that's kind of cool. So good. We like to hear that you like living here. Tell us about being a reporter for the Daily Catch. Mm-hmm. How do you go about interviewing the community, but yet living in the community? And what is one article you really enjoyed writing?
Well, that's great. There's lots of questions. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, for those who don't know, I don't know how much of the viewership will know the Daily Catch, but we're an online.
Oh, they know it.
Oh, fantastic. But
yeah. But go ahead. You can say it just
I'll give
in
the
case.
Spiel. Okay. Online, nonprofit, nonpartisan newspaper, totally free for anybody who wants to use it. It's just local news for Red Hook and Rhinebeck. Very, very specific, very, very local. And we do as much reporting as we can, but we're a very small team. So we're constantly out in the community. It's myself, one other reporter, and my editor. And we are just out there doing as much as we can, trying to do as high quality news, like serious reporting as we can possibly do.
So it's your editor, you, and one other reporter?
Correct.
Grace?
We have some, yes, Grace.
Yeah, I looked this up. I researched you.
Fantastic.
I stalked you for like 2 days.
Fantastic. Real journalism at work.
I know.
Journalism is just stalking for anybody who doesn't know that.
Nowadays.
Yeah. And it's so easy. It's amazing. You can find so much about people.
So good.
I can tell usually if I don't know ahead of time, like how old somebody is, basically by if I put their name into Google and there aren't like a million photos of them immediately as soon as I find them, I'm like, oh, I guess they aren't posting their entire lives on social media like everybody else. That's so interesting.
So how old did you think I was when we were talking? And you better say something good.
Oh, of course. Well, I found so much about you immediately. You're out there.
Yeah. Someone told me the other day, it was actually a Gen Z person, said I reminded them of their mother. And I made them take that back. I was like, no, you better say sister or aunt or something like that. Not your mother. That's not cool. But anyway, I'm sorry. Getting back to it. So tell us about being a reporter at the Daily Catch.
Well, so I came here right after I graduated college. It was my first job.
Did they recruit you? How did this work?
It's funny. It's kind of a funny story. So I was in Los Angeles waiting for anything to come in. I was applying to, dozens of jobs.
Good for you.
Like, everything I could find on LinkedIn, anything I felt I was vaguely qualified for, anything that had writer in the title. And I was like, oh, there's this job opening in this small town in New York. Funnily enough, the girl I dated in high school, who's still one of my good friends, her family looked at a vacation home here while I was
Do you guys still
in
hook
high
up?
School. No.
No. I had to ask that.
I was in a committed relationship.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay. Take that back. Take that out. Take that back. Anyway.
But we'll edit that in post.
Yeah.
Yeah, her family had looked here. So I'd heard of Rhinebeck in high school, just totally randomly, knew nothing about it. But I was like, oh, it's supposed to be a nice place. Like, I'll check it out. So I applied, sent in my resume, and the editor got back to me and was like, your resume looks great. Thanks for sharing these clips. I'm also from St. Louis. Like, that's so funny, yada, yada. We kind of had an email exchange. And then she goes, but I'm really looking for somebody local. you're, across the country, literally as far away as you can get. It's not going to work out. So I was like, oh, well, whatever. Then a couple weeks pass and I get this email that's, hey, so remember how you applied here? We could actually use another candidate to interview. Would you be willing to work something out? So we sort of made this Zoom interview regimen that sort of involved me doing an article remotely of me just calling people from LA. And then eventually she was like, okay, this is pretty good. We'll schedule a time for you to fly out here. Funnily enough, I actually called the mayor of Rhinebeck before I set foot in this town, which is hilarious. I had his contact before.
Is he cool? I don't know much about him.
Gary Bassett. Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Is he a nice guy?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right, I won't make fun of him right now. Go ahead. Continue.
I won't stop you. Yeah, so then I flew out here. It was a mess traveling here, but that's another story. It was great. Like, we got along super well, got the job, and now it's really fun because I think I've helped sort of open the doors for recruiting people from far away. Like, the reporter who was here before Graves, her name is Catherine. Actually, her name still is Catherine. She's not dead. She was coming from the San Juan Islands in Washington State, so we were sort of recruiting farther afield, I think.
Okay, that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So now, little personal question.
Please.
Did you meet your significant other here, or did she come out with you?
No, well, she's staying with me this summer, but she's from Houston. So
okay.
we met in high school.
Aw.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're making that work.
Yes.
Aw, that's nice. Okay,
Yes.
Very cool, very cool. I know someone else in Rhinebeck, cannot say who has a long-distance relationship with someone in Texas as well. And I think it might be Houston.
Well, there you go.
So how do you feel being a reporter in the community and then living in the community? How does that work?
It's very interesting. I do most of my reporting in Rhinebeck, and I live in Red Hook. So there's just enough distance to maybe make it a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I obviously do some reporting in Red Hook, and obviously there's so much crossover between the communities. It's hard to really delineate.
Except we're better.
Well, I mean, that's what people seem to say. I can't comment on that. It's interesting because I feel like I've become super intimately knowledgeable with this community super quickly. Just going to these town board, village board, planning board, school board, whatever meetings.
Oh, you got to give me the dirt.
Oh, yeah.
What's the best one to go to? I think Matty said planning board.
Planning boards can be good.
What else?
But they're all...
I love how he's ignoring that.
Planning boards can be the most amusing.
I'm going.
There's a lot of amusement to be had. They all have their own personality. It's really funny. The makeups of the board, obviously, the different, like, does the chair really dictate everything? Is it more like a spread out kind of situation? It really depends on what's being discussed, I'd say. Like, if there's a big controversial development at the planning board, recently there have been some stuff in Rhinebeck. I'm trying to think of a good example for you.
Chicken farm?
The chicken farm? Uh-huh. The biggest, the chicken farm was entertaining, but it was like a chicken rescue thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yes, that was very entertaining. Not super controversial, but the planning board, I think, was quite confused. It was a like chicken rehabilitation thing. But there's been stuff around like Rock Ledge. We've done a lot of coverage of that. That's one of the big developments. And when people really come out in support or in opposition, it makes for just sort of a fiery atmosphere. Either people can stand up and start really getting impassioned, or accuse people of, trying to ruin the community, or you're ruining the community because you won't let me help the community. It just gets to a point where it's these big issues are playing out in front of you, and it's kind of the forum to talk about it. So a long way to answer. I think it's been a very interesting way to become, I know so much of this place's history and its power players and the personality politics between them all. And I feel like I'm just some guy who has no real connection to it other than working here for a year. So it's a very interesting kind of distance and intimacy balance.
I want to give you an example because I have never been a journalist. I was a journalist for a hot second in college. We won't even get into that. It was during the Bill Clinton era. He had just had the affair with Monica Lewinsky. So they sent me to the mall and they had me ask random people what they thought about the affair. And I was like, I do not want to do this for the rest of my life. This is just not my thing. So that deterred me from journalism. But let's say your significant other robbed a bank, robbed Rhinebeck Bank, and you had to report on it. Would you do it?
Well, I'd hope we'd have a joint bank account at that point. Of course. Yeah.
You would.
It's a good story. I mean,
that is a great
I don't know if they'd
story.
let me, probably conflict of interest, but I'd do it.
I think that would be so interesting. That's what I'm saying. Like, you never know as a journalist.
Actually, I mean, it's an amusing tale, but you wouldn't cover the story of someone that you were related to.
No.
But he's not related to her. They're not married.
There's a relationship.
There's a relationship, but let's say the other reporter and the other editor were down with COVID.
Just couldn't. There'd be no scenario where that would be appropriate. As someone who has a degree in journalism, I can say unequivocally that would not be a possibility.
Okay, let's say I rob Rhinebeck Bank and you had to cover it. Would you?
Well, I already know all this about you. It'd be perfect. I know all the motivations.
Yeah, that's
coverage.
different. That's not the that's not the same relationship.
Okay, all right, I guess. So what is one article that you really enjoyed writing for The Catch?
There have been tons. It's been great. There's a lot of creative freedom to cover what we want to cover. I think my favorite article I've written was maybe a couple months into being here. I wrote an article on Bigfoot researchers in the area. They
have a big Bigfoot group here.
They do.
They used to meet at my friend's cafe in Red Hook.
Okay. Well, there you go. Yes. I heard about this when I was talking with them.
Yeah. My friend Joe Moscato owned that cafe, the Enchanted Cafe in Red Hook. And he would have all the metaphysical. I'm a big metaphysical person. So he would have all the metaphysical events. Now, here's a question. Mm-hmm. Do you believe in Bigfoot?
You know, as a journalist, I like to maintain a professional distance from controversial issues. You know, I don't like to take a side. What I'll say is I think it's very fun. I think it's a cool thing for people to believe in should they so desire. You can obviously go off the deep end and be crazy with it.
What percentage of people that go to these events do you think actually believe it, or it's just entertainment for them?
Well, the article that I did was about the true believers. I'll definitely say that. So the people I really interacted with were true believers. Okay. But in terms of the broader community, I'm sure at least half are just in it for the comedy or sociological appeal or some just, I wonder what this is all about. Yeah, I don't think it's universal.
Matt, do you believe in Bigfoot?
Unequivocally not.
Really?
That's right. I know that'll shock you. I also don't believe in the Loch Ness Monster.
You don't? I have him in my pond. He is in my pond.
I think that's called a fish.
Yeah, no, it's a Loch Ness Monster. I'm convinced.
Okay.
With Bigfoot, I'm very on the fence about him. Mm-hmm. But I have to say, what do you laugh?
What you just said.
But I have to say that I watched this show on Bigfoot hunting. They were 7 seasons in and they still hadn't fucking found Bigfoot. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't exist.
I don't know. I mean, he's pretty quick.
Yeah, he's pretty quick, but he's very big and he's very smelly. So you would notice a trail. Anyway, all right, let's get off the Bigfoot stuff. So do you have any exciting articles on the horizon for us you can tell us about? You're allowed to.
Yeah, let me see what I can.
We don't want to get you in trouble. Yeah, give us a scoop. Yeah.
The election coverage is ramping up, so we're definitely going to do a whole suite of that. You know, local elections up to the congressional races here. We're not going to do like presidential coverage because that's not in our wheelhouse really, but I think people are going to be excited about that because of the presidential race. Smaller scale, I think we're going to have an article come out soon about the Rhinebeck Natural Cemetery. If you've ever been curious about that.
I'm all about that. I've been talking to my husband about this. Get a plot now. Mm-hmm. While it's really inexpensive, just fucking throw my body in there. Don't even worry about it. And that's it. How about you? How do you feel about it?
I think it's beautiful. I think it's like everything I've learned about it has been very like moving. Everybody who speaks about it so deeply.
So I wanted to pitch an article to you.
Oh,
and
fantastic.
see if you would write it for me.
Okay.
And
let's hear it.
I think that you should write about...
Got Talent.
I think you should write about the Rhinebeck Scoop.
A great idea.
It's just taking over and everyone should listen to it. Shut the fuck up, Matty. And everyone should listen to it.
Well, obviously.
It is going to be the biggest show on Radio Free Rhinecliff. And if you're not listening, you are missing out. Mm-hmm.
From a nonpartisan standpoint.
Absolutely.
I get it.
So I think you should really get on that.
Well, we unfortunately have done some coverage with Radio Free Rhinecliff in the past.
That was before you were with us.
Yeah, you got to do it just on the Scoop. I don't give a fuck about the other shows. I'm just saying just on the Scoop.
Yeah.
Do you want to pay it forward? Then give this podcast a 5-star rating wherever you listen. On Apple Podcasts, go to the page with all my episodes listed, scroll down, click tap to rate, and click on 5 white stars and they will turn purple. To add a 5-star review, click on write a review. This takes less than 60 seconds of your time to ensure that people like you will find this podcast. On Spotify, go to the main show page, click on the 3 dots on the right next to the settings symbol, click on Rate Show, and give me 5 stars. If you have a partner, older children, or anyone else in your household that has a phone, make sure to borrow their phones and rate too. Good vibes all along. Thanks, guys. So now, are you ready for everyone's favorite?
Of course.
Let's play a game of Marry, Fuck, Kill. This is Maddie's favorite. So are you ready for your choices?
Well, I'm ready, but I do want to say before we start,
Uh-oh.
This is huge. As you probably know, with Gen Z, the greatest generation, this game is huge. But I've never heard it Marry, Fuck, Kill. I've always heard it Fuck, Marry, Kill. Yeah.
Yeah. I changed it because I can do what I want.
I mean, great reason. Great reason. But the first time I heard you say it when I was doing that research earlier, I was like, what? This is out of order. Like, what? It's like goose, duck, duck. I was so confused.
Yeah, because we're older. And that's why. We're going to marry, the fuck, and the kill. Okay. So your choices are Melania Trump, Jennifer Lopez, and founder and editor-in-chief and CEO of The Daily Catch.
Oh, my God.
Emily Sacker.
Oh, my God. That's really funny.
I had to do it.
That's really funny. I hope she doesn't listen to this.
She'll listen.
She'll definitely. Oh, yeah. She's plugged in. She'll definitely find it. I think for professional reasons, gonna have to kill Emily. I'm so sorry. Can't go on the record.
You guys are such pussies.
I'm just employed.
Now you're on the list with Matty and Eric.
I didn't kill Jen.
Yes, you did.
Oh, did I? Oh, you're right.
Yes, you
That's
did.
right.
And she's your best friend, and you killed her.
That was appropriate for professional reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
As was just stated.
We have a reputation to maintain in this community.
Yeah,
we're both pillars of the media.
Emily has to die.
I'm so sorry, Emily.
Okay.
She'll understand completely.
So we have Melania or Jennifer Lopez?
I mean, I feel like Melania is more stylish. I'll say it. I mean, you can't go wrong now.
That's right.
Gotta do both with both? No. I think I'm gonna have to marry Melania Trump. That'd be such a power move. Right into the levers of power, Like
she wants a new husband.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. As long as they don't have a prenup, I'm in.
Okay, so you would fuck Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
Okay, why?
I mean, she's really hot.
Really?
And she's talented.
And she's hot. See, I can't get into the Jennifer Lopez thing, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Is because I used to live near the Bronx. She is
near the Bronx. What is near the Bronx?
Yonkers.
Oh, you're afraid? You were embarrassed to say Yonkers?
You're so embarrassed to say Yonkers.
Clearly, near the Bronx. What does that mean?
3-year
Westchester, Jersey City.
I feel like we're near the Bronx right now.
Yeah, we're closer to the Bronx.
I did a 3-year stint in Yonkers. Okay, people. You had to take it out of me, Matt. Had to admit that.
We'll edit that too.
Yeah, edit that too.
You're not editing that out.
But anyway, so Jennifer Lopez makes it sound like she's from the block and she's so from the
Jenny
hood.
from the block.
Yeah, and the whole thing. You realize she grew up with parents who are both professionals, and she went to a private Catholic school. So she was not struggling. She makes it like I was riding the 6 and I was so poor and I'm so this and I'm so that. Now they're catching on to it, that she's a big poser, but I've never liked her for that. Do I think she's hot? I have to think about that one. I just can't get past that. So Matty, let's go to you. So you have Melania, Jennifer Lopez, and Emily Sacker. And by the way, I don't know if I like your choices, Andrew. Just gonna say.
I'm trying to stir the pot.
I might have lost just a tiny bit of respect.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to get it back in this next segment.
Okay, got it.
I'm gonna switch it up a bit. Okay, I'll marry Emily.
Aw, that's nice.
She's great.
She's a great journalist.
I can't wait to meet her when she writes the article about me.
Experience from her days at Newsday on, she's a classic tabloid journalist. And as a journalism major, we could get along well.
And Matty likes intellectual.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't give you the warning at 15
thank you
minutes.
so much. It's cool.
You're looking back with sweating.
What was your hall pass? Emma Stone.
Yes.
Right. So,
well, you gave me a choice of Emma Stone was an easy one out of the three you gave me. I don't
No,
remember.
I asked for your hall pass. I didn't give you a choice at all.
Oh, yeah. No, but you said celebrity hall pass.
Celebrity. Really? I don't get the Emma Stone thing. Okay, anyway, continue.
Does Gen Z get it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Easy one.
Oh, my God,
Would that not be a possible?
Oh, yeah. She's amazing.
In every way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looking?
Yeah.
Yes.
She's
Are you
gorgeous.
kidding? Beyond.
She's like the best actress working. I love her.
We're talking about the same girl. We're talking about the girl who was in La La Land.
Of course.
Unbelievable.
Poor Things, one of my favorite
Poor Things.
movies.
Oh, that was remember we couldn't think of the movie.
Yeah, no,
Poor
we couldn't think
Things.
of the name,
Yeah,
but
we
I
couldn't
love
think
the
of the
movie.
name. Yeah.
You're saying that she's not beautiful?
I don't find her attractive. I don't find a lot of these people attractive. I don't know.
That one's just like,
there's
something wrong with you.
I think so.
There's something wrong.
Let me think of someone who I find really attractive.
You can say you hate her personality.
No,
I would disagree with it, but to
no.
say that she's not objectively beautiful is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't get that. Anyway, continue. Marry, fuck, kill. Go. Your choices.
Well, I'd have to kill Melania. That's an easy one.
Yeah, I knew you were going to do that.
But she's so stylish.
She's a call girl. That's not why I would kill her. There's nothing wrong with that. But no.
And then you'd F Lopez.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's the last one left, right?
Do you think she's beautiful?
Not Emma Stone beautiful.
That's what I love to hear.
Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But of the one remaining, yes.
I'm trying to think of a woman who I think is just, when I see her on screen, I think she's beautiful. Dakota, what's her name? The girl from...
Dakota Johnson?
Yeah, I think she's really beautiful.
I can't picture her off the top of my head, to be honest.
Okay.
And she's very attractive.
And I think the girl that played...
speaking, yes.
I keep saying girl. The woman who played Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot?
Yeah.
Like, I think she's gorgeous.
She's like supermodel.
Yeah. I think she's beautiful.
She
but the Emma Stone, she looks like a little elf.
Maybe that's what people like.
Maybe not. I don't. Guys have that thing, that elf look. You guys like that.
That is a thing. No, that's true.
It is.
That's not what I think of her when I think of her, but whatever.
Okay.
Not me either, but...
Well, I'm going to give you my choices. Let's see. I haven't thought about this ahead of time. Okay, so I'm going to kill off Jennifer Lopez. I just can't. Okay. And also, we don't look alike, but we're in that same Hispanic Latino vein, so it'd be like fucking myself, kind of. So I'm gonna not do that. I like to go for different. Melania Trump, I will marry because I don't know. Like, I like Eastern Europeans. I lived there. I figure, like, why not? We would get along fine. Power move.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think she's profoundly stupid?
Yeah, but that's fine. I don't care. I don't care.
I think
she's more of a plotter than you think she is.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I think to get to where she was from, to where she is now, First Lady of the United States.
She's very attractive. Yeah. And a very attractive prostitute.
God, Matty, Jesus. Holy shit. I feel bad for the woman. So I'm gonna marry her and I'm gonna treat her right. And I'm
hoping for some fan mail on this.
And I would fuck Emily Sacker. I would show her a good time so she could write an article about me and make it sound good. Yeah, so Emily, call me. You're into it. Coverage. Yeah. Is she straight?
She is married, yes.
Oh, okay. We can make it a threesome. Okay. I'm good with that. So, all right. Now we are moving on to a new game called, and Andrew, you have to redeem yourself here.
Okay.
A new game called Brilliant Insight or Useless Fact.
Oh, I'm so ready.
Go.
I was born for this. Okay. Did you know that you're aware of microplastics, PFAS?
Yes.
If you're pregnant.
Oh, God, this is so Gen Z. Go ahead.
And you consume too many microplastics and you have a boy, his taint will be smaller.
Really?
Yep.
Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
Well,
Matty just mouthed, bad thing.
You will have lower fertility. A taint length is associated with male fertility.
Wow.
So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but...
Do you think there's anything that containing plastic will be better?
No, but it's 9:30 a.m. and we are talking about taints already. So you have completely redeemed yourself.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
That is interesting, though. That is a good factoid. That is a brilliant insight.
Fantastic. I'm so glad.
Excellent. So, Matty, what's yours?
Oh, I thought I wasn't participating in
Jesus Christ. I emailed you. I said, I'm going to get out my text.
You didn't get the agenda?
I am going to get out my text.
New meta-analysis has found that ultra-processed foods increase your chances of dementia.
No fucking shit, Matty. I talk about it every time I come in here.
You do?
About the molds, about the toxins, about
That's not necessarily ultra processed.
Well, what do I talk about all the time? The industrial seed oils.
Well, that's only one item.
That's many items. That's many processed oils.
Shall I come up with another one for
Yes, please.
Can I do it?
Rejected. Fun fact.
Wow, fun fact.
I'm going to do one fun fact of mine, and then I'll come back to you. So I'll give you time to think. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I have been deep diving on a podcast about Watergate because I've never really understood Watergate. And now I've listened to it 2 times, the podcast, and it's not I don't understand Watergate. It's just fucking boring. It's really boring. It's a little bit confusing. You guys should know what Watergate is, involving Richard Nixon that took him down. And the number one factoid that I learned was Nixon had this shit list that for whatever reason went public. Do you guys know about this?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know
it's called the enemies list.
Oh, okay. And do you know who the number one person on that list was?
It was half the journalists and the New York Times were on the list, but I don't remember everyone. No.
Barbara Streisand.
Wow. Wow. The J-Lo of her time.
Yes. Barbara Streisand was number one on Nixon's shit list.
Wow.
I'm sorry. That's really interesting.
That is really interesting.
Yeah. What did Barbara Streisand do? She seems pretty innocuous. Do you know that Barbara Streisand has her own whole village at her house? No, she has a shop. She's a restaurant. She's everything.
Import it from Central Africa or something like this? It seems weird.
I know. Isn't it crazy though?
That's very strange.
That's how rich she is. I mean,
I guess that's true.
It's pretty rich. Matty, your factoid?
Okay, here's a factoid that is...
Wait, hold on. Sorry, was mine useless or brilliant?
Yours was in between.
Okay, whatever.
I'm gonna have to go with useless. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I was being diplomatic.
Said by Gen Z. Said by Gen Z. Go ahead.
I'm going to give you a factoid that is little known, and it was misrepresented in a Pulitzer Prize winning biography of Susan Sontag. And that is that, in fact, although incorrect in her biography, she did, in fact, get a driver's license. And not only did she get a driver's license, she got a driver's license and only drove in the Rhinebeck area.
Really?
Who is this person?
Susan Sontag, one of the quintessential intellectuals
oh, God.
of the 20th century.
Oh, God. Did she write something? Do you know who this person is?
I do.
So what did she write?
I can't name every book.
You know what? This is too much for 9:30 in the morning. This is too much thinking. Why are you bringing the intellectual in? You know, when you come here...
You wanted a factoid that I can tell you that almost anyone who's read her biography will think she didn't have a driver's license. And I made it local to Rhinebeck.
That's pretty good.
And another thing she once told me was that Upstate Films, I knew her.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Upstate Films was her favorite movie theater south of New York and north of Montreal.
This is so not interesting.
I'm sorry. North of, I just reversed
that.
I
thought you did that on purpose.
Yeah, she didn't say that.
Oh.
I just did. It's 9:30 in the morning. She literally did say north of New York and south of Montreal.
Okay, but you know when you walk in this room with the Rhinebeck Scoop, your intelligence just drops, right? Your IQ just drops.
You're talking about yourself, or are you talking about...
No, I'm talking about every guest, everyone who comes in for the Rhinebeck Scoop. So you took it way to a level that...
You didn't get all the stuff in the green room that's supposed to
I know. We don't have one. We have no room.
all the lines of cocaine you guys set out in the green room.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Well, you can just
that's
edit
on
it
Fridays.
You can edit it all out.
Okay. No, it's good. It's good. You brought in Rhinebeck. I respect that. Okay. Here's my last one. Again, about Watergate, because I'm obsessed with Watergate for a few seconds. So there was a source in Watergate named Deep Throat. Everyone knows that, right? Deep Throat was named after a porn movie that came out that same week in 1972.
That's really funny. I didn't know that.
Thank you.
I need to say I knew that.
So is it brilliant or useless?
That one's brilliant, I have to say.
Thank you.
That one's
great. Totally brilliant, of course.
Because I thought the guy was like, call me up Deep Throat.
That's what I thought too.
That's what I thought it was. I didn't think it was actually okay.
I didn't think they'd invented porn back then.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They had it before you were born. It's
they
amazing.
had it.
What?
Let me tell you, if you read the Romantic poets back in what era was that? The 1800s, 1700s?
Mm-hmm.
That's some good porn
Yeah.
back there. So yeah, you'd be surprised how long it's been around.
Yeah.
Even before that.
Yep. In Jesus's time.
Yeah.
Whole thing. Just so you know.
That's why he's always naked on the cross.
Yeah.
Is this going to be brilliant or no?
I've got a Watergate fact for you before we move on.
Okay, please.
This is from courtesy of my girlfriend. She was just in an American history class.
Can we shout her out? What's her name?
Of course, Mariana.
Oh, pretty name.
Yes, very beautiful name. Very beautiful person.
Oh, love that.
Apparently, one of the, you might know this already, but the reason why the actual like operators at the Watergate Hotel got caught was because their lookout across the way fell asleep watching a B-tier sci-fi movie in his hotel room and didn't notice when the security guard came in.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a porn. I thought you were going to say Deep Throat.
If he was watching Deep Throat, that would have been beautiful. That would have been perfect. His history's not that clean. Very unfortunate. Not
that clean. That's pretty good. That is brilliant.
Fantastic.
So you have redeemed yourself. And you know what I was thinking about? Why, when I looked you up, your age threw me off. Your voice sounds like you're much older than you are. Mm-hmm. People have to tell you that.
Yeah. Actually, funnily enough, my coworker, when we spoke on the phone before meeting, when she was first joining the paper, was like, I thought you were like 35.
That's what I was going to say. I thought you were 35. So that's good. That's good for a journalist.
Yeah.
So, all right, Andrew, you're up. What is your sweet of the moment?
And this is a general thing, right? It doesn't have to be okay. I don't know. I've been really liking, I was thinking about this beforehand, and I wanted to shout out the Elizaville Diner. I don't know if you guys have been up there, but I've been going there a lot, and they're getting like lots of press coverage. I did an article on them when they like first opened, and they're like becoming really successful.
Oh, good.
And the chef there, Leslie, is like such a wonderful person. She does so much work for the community. She's worked so hard for her whole life, and now this restaurant is a big success. So I just wanted to shout that. It was a big sweet since moving here, where
That's
I felt
amazing.
like I've been a part of a community story that's built up. So go to the Elizaville Diner. That's my shout out for the
I wonder if I can talk to Leslie about the industrial seed oil.
I think you should absolutely talk about it.
I wonder if she would cook me something in olive oil. I am going to go up there and talk about it. How about you, Matty? Have you been there?
I haven't been. I've heard about it, but I haven't been there yet.
I recommend it.
Okay, cool.
Good
What's
food.
your sour?
UCLA, where I went to school, great institution, does not care about its students or alumni. And they're cutting off my like email access, and I've like used that email for so much stuff. So
Are you kidding?
It's so annoying. It's a huge issue, and I'm in like a catch-22 situation. Get this, I have to clear out enough storage. I can't access Google Drive anymore on this thing, so I have to clear out all my storage. Which whatever, I'll do it. That's fine. But because I'm over storage, I can't go into the Google Drive to clear it out. And if I don't clear it out by a certain date, they'll delete the whole account.
Yeah, why aren't you moving on with your life? Why are you still using your college email?
I still have my college email.
Oh my God, Matty, please.
NYU doesn't take it away from you, goddammit.
Excuse me, I went to NYU and they took mine away from me.
You didn't get an alumni account?
Oh, maybe I didn't
That's
sign
up
up
to
for
you.
that.
You have to do something.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. But seriously, why don't just get another email?
No, I do, but like I don't want to lose all that stuff.
He's got to get his email.
But what's so important?
Oh
Student
my
discounts.
God, email history. And you want an EDU address for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, discounts. Now I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn it. I'm going to sign up for oh, you guys just taught me something. That was the most brilliant insight we've had today. Out of all that, out of the taints, out of the deep throat, everything. Okay, perfect. Leave me feedback on anything I've said today. Agree with me. Tell me I'm wrong. Whatever you want. Call and leave a voicemail at 845-307-7446 or email me at comments@radiofreerhinecliff.org. Follow me on Instagram at Free Spirit Podcasts. This radio show is produced by me, Jennifer C., Matty Rosenberg, and Jen Hammoud at Radio Free Rhinecliff. Andrew, it has been amazing having you on.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are a wonderful personality, and you have really not changed my mind about Gen Z, but you've changed my mind. Don't shake your head, Matty, but you've changed my mind about the potential of Gen Z.
Great first step. Great first step.
So anyway, but you're great. We love your reporting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing such a thorough job in the community and trying to be non-biased. You are non-biased. It's hard though. And if I rob a bank, I know that you're going to be very nice to me in that article.
I'll be on the scene.
Until next time, have a happy Labor Day weekend. If you have to go back to school, sucks to be you. I don't have to do that in my life anymore. Andrew, do you have anything you want to say until next time?
Check out The Daily Catch. TheDailyCatch.org.
Love it. and check out Andrew's articles. The next show will drop on Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024. I may be trying a behind-the-scenes episode, so tune in for that. See you in 2 weeks.
Love you, RBK.
That voice, man.
Yeah.